Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Tanishk, and I am from Group 5. Today, we are gonna talk about one of the case analysis on the Lee Nielsen Toolworks, which is called the LNT. So I have with me Ashita, Rohan, Akshay, Harsh, Abdul, and Bhavya in my team. So to talk about L&T, which is a woodworking tool manufacturing company, it was firstly founded in 1981 by one of the Lee Nielsen family member whose name was Tom. He started casting the bronze metal in his backyard, and then in couple of years he started his own company. His company went from 1% to 90% within a span of 35 years, and they just started building the equipments with their hands, but later they installed the machinery to make it automatic. Within a span of 35 years, their revenue went from 0 to $9 million. Next, we have a list of tools which they currently offer, which includes hand plane, saws, chisels, cutting and joinery tools, workbench, carving tools, axes, sharpening supplies, books, and DVDs made by other manufacturers. They, during the span of 35 years, they faced a lot of problems regarding the customer satisfaction and the various process flows, which my team member would be talking.
Hi everyone, my name is Bhavya and I would be talking about the identification of problems and challenges for this case. So, like any other business, L&T also faced few challenges and problems that were pulling it behind from generating the maximum output from its business. The first major problem that L&T has been facing is about human resource management. Since it is situated in a small populated city, it is hard to find good skilled workforce, or even if they manage to train some people, those employees then prefer to go out to the major part of the nation so that they can get a better wage. So definitely human resource is a challenge for L&T. And also since L&T is known for its quality standards, to maintain those standards, it has to deal with a lot of waste and scrap that gets rejected in the quality assurance phase. Also, one of the major challenge of L&T is that L&T has been facing is about factory management. Earlier, it has an inefficient shop layout and poor maintained machines that later has been changed to new CNC machines. Due to the inefficient management staff, many a times Tom, the CEO of the company, has to look over the supervision of floor work that restricted him from doing much more valuable work. And if we have a look over the next slide, we can see here that there are no stocks for these given products. Also, for a product, there are a backlog of orders as well. So, if we have to sum up the challenges, we can look over the next slide. Yeah, so here are the key points that are there for the identification of problems. That L&T always have a hard time acquiring human resources and retaining them. Employees at L&T has been lacking the ability to make decisions. Also, L&T has been facing challenges about stocking up to meet the required demand, keeping in check the expected quality, and which results in creating a lot of waste and scrap in their quality assurance phase. So next part would be about the analysis, and that would be explained by one of the team member.
So up next, we have analysis. L&T, to better their customer satisfaction rate, implemented various systems like the ERP system, implementation of in-house solutions and API, as well as the implementation of lean manufacturing. So ERP systems, also known as enterprise resource planning, we can go to the next slide, is a software that allows for businesses to integrate applications like sales, inventory, and management, etc., to work together under one environment. ERP systems makes it possible for all different processes that are needed to run a company to be integrated within a single system. And it also allowed L&T, the different departments within L&T, to easily communicate with each other. Taking the manufacturing workflow into play, ERP brings in many routing processes and various steps, which works great for larger companies, but requires discipline as well. L&T tried analysis on various ERP solutions like Syspro, Fishbowl, and Fulfill. The Fulfill IO system, while it is an ERP, it is a cloud-based ERP for small to mid-sized wholesale businesses. It is built upon Triton and open source ERP software, but it also has a web interface along with other features added. Where traditional ERP systems system uses a set of different tools and spreadsheets, Fulfill is just one central tool to manage L&T's entire operations. With the help of Fulfill, L&T saw a huge growth of orders after implementing, and it also helped in improving the overall customer satisfaction rate and reducing the cancellation rate. And with Fulfill, L&T was able to increase their revenue by 20%. And up next, we'll discuss the issues L&T had with the ERP system.
Hi everyone, my name is Akshay and I'll be discussing the issues that L&T faced with the ERP systems. So L&T had to face its own fair share of issues with the ERP system. For starters, Syspro, an ERP software, turned out to be more than what L&T could handle as it was designed for extensive enterprises. Since L&T didn't want all the features that Syspro offered, it became very expensive to use, and on top of that, they wanted to charge L&T millions just to upgrade. Even when they switched to Fishbowl, they regretted the decision again. While Syspro was mainly for a bigger company targeting bigger businesses, Fishbowl was just the opposite. L&T went with this software as it was targeted to be user-friendly with a great user interface. Right when L&T started using the software, it turned out to be a disaster for reasons like no use of encryption for storing the customer's data. In the next slide, I will be discussing about how L&T was able to resolve its issues. So to resolve its issues the L&T was facing, it developed an in-house analytical solution which they called the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink used Python API to get data from L&T's ERP system called fulfill.io and then use the same data to develop reports needed by the CEO Tom and the department managers. This solution was able to create about 70 different types of reports. These helped Tom and the managers to keep a watch on how the business was progressing throughout the day. For example, the report that is shown in the image lists all the production jobs that are currently running and how many units have been produced or scrapped each day of the week. The next part will be discussed by my teammate.
My name is Rohan Desai and I'll be talking about the lean manufacturing implementation. Before moving on to the implementation, we first need to understand the concept of lean manufacturing. The concept of lean manufacturing revolves around the idea of getting maximum productivity while minimizing the waste during a manufacturing process. In this, the manufacturing process is activated when there is a demand for that particular product from the customers instead of the management's prediction. This concept of lean manufacturing demands eliminating the activities that add no value to the business. Reducing the waste to provide the manufacturing process improvements would significantly deliver more value and satisfaction to the clients. It would also reduce the overall costs and streamline the services as well as increase the savings for that particular product. Moving on to the next slide. L&T plans on utilizing the pool production system, which is a popular lean tool. It focuses on manufacturing a product when there is a specific demand. Even though large batch sizes are not recommended while using the lean technique, it proved to be beneficial to L&D as they produced tools that would last over 3 to 4 months. And also, while machining, if certain operations are done in a large batch, it would prove to be more efficient. So the main advantage of this process is that it would significantly reduce or eliminate the waste, which always negatively impacts the resources, money and time. The quality will be much improved and allow L&T to compete with their rivals in the market. Along with that, it would also help L&T to meet the ever-changing demands of their clients. It would save a lot of time that is wasted because of inefficient manufacturing practices, whereas more efficient methods let the manufacturers create smaller lead times, allowing the productions to be delivered much faster. Other advantages include a satisfied customer network, making the process environment friendly by reducing the time and waste of unnecessary resources and greater levels of stock turnover. The next topic would be explained by my teammate.
Thank you, Rohan. Hi, my name is Harsh, and I'll be discussing the alternatives and decisions which the company should take to improve their process flow. So the company have faced different there are different problems that has come up in front of the company. So accordingly, to tackle the problems, the company has taken certain decisions, and those decisions include strategies like just-in-time production, Toyota production system. Key idea behind these strategies is to identify and take out waste so that it gives a boost to the organization, and to gather more strategies which can improve the process flow. A push and pull system should be made so that the flow of goods and services is maintained in an orderly manner. Accordingly, the tools and equipment should be taken care of for the requirements. Also, there should be batches of working hours for machinists so that the end product is made in a single workflow and the sales team can start selling the end product immediately. Go to the next slide, please. So the decisions taken by the company include: the company has decided on API interface for setting up an IT department. So the key function of API is to keep different numbers of instructions to access information on the system, and also to access and use the data from the outside sources. So the API application will help with all this, and the workforce will be able to work independently without any support. A private web server was set up with the use of Flask framework and with Python programming language used in AWS services. It makes the system simple and flexible at the same time, and it becomes easier to make the process new reports, which is used by the higher management for the further planning of the process, as the data which is produced is very accurate. The next part will be handled by my teammate Abdul.
Thank you, Arish. I'll be discussing the recommendations that we want to make to L&T on the slides. The first and foremost, we urge to hire more workforces because it was one of the company's biggest challenge, where they could not find qualified employees and could not keep them for long periods of time. So the best strategy to address this issue is by increasing the number of employees and provide them with the suitable training. Employees should be hired not only for operational purposes, but also for IT department. So companies should consider improving IT department by providing relevant human resources and necessary funds, because there are still areas of improvement which can be worked. For example, a single person is burdened with a lot of different responsibilities, such as printer problems, network connections, also troubleshooting of software and hardware problems, which makes the process inefficient. This can be addressed by dividing the work equally amongst the resources. Further, regular and timely feedback should be provided to developers who are working on developing applications that simplify the processes. Also, the managers and operational staffs can suggest new changes to the developers that required for the organization. Moreover, a separate problem-solving department should be initiated to manage and address the concerns raised by all the other departments, which will help to make the process better and even more flexible. And moving on to the next slide, finally, we would like to recommend the processes that needs to be followed. The first, L&T should focus on necessary technical improvement on the existing system and provide relevant training to all the employees to get the best out of the generated reports. Also, L&T should enhance the system where it can provide the details on customer buying behavior and identifying the mostly demanded products and manage the production based on the reports. So overall, we were able to identify the issues that L&T is dealing with, and we provide the pertinent decisions, implementations, alternatives, and recommendations that we believe it will assist L&T in developing future initiatives. Thank you.